Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the briefing session of the inaugural HKMA HKT Global Innovation Award. The event today will be conducted in hybrid mode. Before we start, I would like to introduce you to Slido, the online Q&A platform that online participants can pose questions to our organizing committee members. Please scan the QR code now shown on the screen, and this will direct you to a page where you can send in your questions. Now, may I invite Mr. Sunny Lee, Chairman of the Organizing Committee of the HKMA HKT Global Innovation Award, to start the briefing session. Sunny, please.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thanks all of you for coming, physically as well as not mentally, but virtually. I must have to apologize. We actually have a full room here, and we might have turned away a few of you, so you need to kind of stay back and to join this. But guarantee to you that this is a very worthwhile session. So I just want to. Oh, okay. We already have a question, but I just want to go over some of the essentials first, and then later on we'll have a chance to do some Q&A. So first, I will talk about the awards. Okay, so, oh, sorry. Okay, so why are we organizing this innovation award? It's very simple, because innovation, as you all know, is no longer luxury for businesses and organizations and even government. Everybody needs to innovate. If we don't innovate, we'll be left behind. Especially these days, we're seeing tremendous amount of challenges around the world. Last night there was another challenge, and we're going to see more and more surprises happening. So for organizations to continue to thrive, we must equip ourselves. So that's why we want to promote this notion of innovation. We want to make sure everybody has innovation in their DNA, and that's why we have this award. And this is actually the first time Hong Kong Management Association is launching this award. I have to cite two uniqueness of this innovation award. When you think about innovation, you immediately think about technology. But actually, the intention of this award is more than technology. It's not just technology. Actually, innovation entails not just technological innovation, but also business innovation, process innovation, product innovation. There are many, many different types of innovation, and we want to encourage this. Of course, with all this innovation, naturally, technology will play some role in there. And that's one uniqueness, is we are actually running a true innovation award. Number two, as you can see that, we call this a global innovation award. It is global, okay? We are not only accepting local entries, we're accepting entries from Greater Bay Area, the rest of the China, as well as overseas. So any companies, any parts of the world are entitled to join this award. And then it's not just confined to certain size of company. It actually covers everything. Okay, big, small, startups. Now I'll go over some of those categories later. Okay, so the objective is very simple. I mentioned a little bit before, to recognize business organizations from all sectors for outstanding achievements in innovation. The recognition is what we want to do. We also want to provide a platform and catalyst for these organizations and business and people to have a chance to exchange their view, ideas on best practices. I mean, you learn a lot just through going through this whole process. You learn a lot from about yourself through the application process and the judging process. You also learn tremendously from other people, and hopefully that will make everybody improve. And thirdly, to promote innovation in Hong Kong and globally, and solutions that are positive, long-term, and enduring impact. This is more of a social element. Want to promote this adoption and innovation across the board, everywhere. Okay, what are the benefits if you were to join this award? Certainly, by winning, there will be public recognition about your business and your organization. For your people, it will give them a sense of pride for having achieved something, and maybe a personal recognition in the eyes of their corresponding organization. Motivation, inspiration from sharing and learning new knowledge among peers, learning from each other, inculcating a culture of innovation in your organization, which may not at this point in time be widespread, but hopefully this will make everybody have this mindset of innovating in their daily life, highlighting your business brand and image, let people know how good you are and how good of a brand you have, enhancing transparency in the public or better understanding of your organization innovation contributions. So let the public know about yourself, and let your peers, your colleagues and people know about the good things that the other parts of the companies are doing. And finally, contributing to the business success and economic prosperity in Hong Kong, the region, and globally, which is all economies, those economies that's been investing in innovation, that their economic growth usually surpass the other countries that do not. Okay, so next I want to go over the composition of organizing committees, members, and also panel judges. We are very grateful to have the best people in that we can hear of in this space to help to making this award a success. So in terms of organizing committee, we have Mr. Edward Au, who is the managing partner of Southern China of Deloitte China. We have Ms. Carly Chen, who is the GM of Microsoft Hong Kong and Macau. Mr. Tom Chen, Managing Director, Commercial Group of HKT. Professor Vivica Chan, Chairman and CEO of the We Marketing Group. Mr. Jason Chan, COO, Managing Director, Gobi Partners, Greater Bay Area. Mr. Richard Zheng, Senior Director, Group Customer Ecosystem New World Development. Mr. Herbert Chai, Venture Partner of Sequoia Capital. Mr. Jeff Lau, MD, Head of Strategy Innovation, Business Banking, Commercial Banking of HSBC. Mr. Arnold Leung, CEO of Abnovation. Professor Tam Ga-Yan, who's the Dean of the Business School in Hong Kong UST. Mr. Peter Yang, who's the CEO of Hong Kong Cyberport. And Engineer Andrew Young, who's the Associate Director in charge of Innovation of Sino Group. So these people come together as the organizing committee. And we have, over the last few months, been putting our heads together to design this award to make this a very appropriate one for the industry and for the society. And we also have a very strong lineup of panel judges from all different areas of expertise. Karina Berlin, CEO, co-founder of WHub, co-founder of Angel Hub. Ms. Eric Chan, Chief Public Mission Officer of Cyberport Management Company Limited. Mr. Kelvin Chow, President of the Hong Kong General Chamber of Small and Medium Business. Mr. Nixon Chow, Managing Director and General Manager of SenseTime. Ms. Seth Chow, Director of Digital Strategy and Partnership of MMOCA Brands. Ms. Irene Chu, Head of New Economy, Head of Life Science of KPMG China. Mr. Daniel Fung, Head of Strategy, Innovation and Commercial, Hong Kong Utilities of the Hong Kong China Gas Company Limited. Dr. Lucas Hui, CTO of Astri. Mr. Kenny Lau, Chief Technology Officer of Sun Fung Express Company Limited. Mr. Patrick Lee, Co-founder and Vice Chairman of Seapolar Biotech Limited. Mr. Bobby Liu, Executive Director, Zhao Dai Fuk Jewelry Group Limited. We also have Ms. Pang Mak, Life Honorary President of the Hong Kong SME Association. Mr. Gary Ng, Partner, PwC Mainland China and Hong Kong. Mr. Jeffers Ng, Managing Partner Consulting of Ernst & Young Advisory Services Limited. Ms. Angela Sheng, Chief Marketing Officer of Hang Seng Bank. Mr. Lucas Patricus, Head of Innovation and Data Lab of Hong Kong Exchange and Clearing Limited. Mr. Ivan Shum, Chairman of Angel Investment Foundation, Dr. Paul Sin, Director of Technology and Transformation New World Development Company Limited, Ms. Karen Tam, Assistant General Manager, Strategic Marketing of Wharf Estates Limited, Dr. Samson Tam, Partner Group Sense Limited, and Partner of Hong Kong Inno Angel Fund, Mr. Alan Wong, Southern Region Consulting Leader and Digital Leader of Deloitte China. So you can see that it represents this very important parts of the industry, and they are very the expertise in their own area of expertise. Okay, so here I want to especially thank HKT for agreeing to be the title sponsor of this award. We also have the Global Innovation Sponsor, Appnovation, and the main sponsor, Hong Kong China Gas Company Limited. We're also happy to have McDonald's Hong Kong to be our knowledge partner, and we have a number of supporting organizations kindly supporting this award. Okay, so I end my part, and I'll hand it to our next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunny. May I now invite our award organizing committee member, Mr. Herbert Cha, venture partner of Sequoia Capital, to introduce the scopes of innovation. Herbert, please.
Thank you, Professor Sunny Lee, and good afternoon. I would like to introduce what would be the scope of the innovation. It will be quite important for any entry want to come into the award to understand why we have selected this 5 scope of innovation. If we check on the Wikipedia, right? The definition of the innovation is the practical information or implementation of idea that result in the introduction of new goods and service. And then that's why when we come into the scope of innovation, you can see that goods and service are much more complicated than before when we perhaps when we defined the innovation, right? So in order to have a much clear understanding of the scope of innovation, we separate into 5 areas. But then when you're looking into this scope, you will see that there might be a few like a double entry. And we welcome for the entries to come into 2 or 3 parts of the innovation. For example, like you might be a product a surface innovation, but then at the same time is you have a very good impact on social innovation. Then you can enter into 2 different part of the scoping. Let me run through 5 of this scope together to give you a favor on what do we mean by innovation when you enter into the award. Product and service innovation would be quite fundamental scope, because when you come into a different award in the innovation, this will be the very basic one, where this is category to develop a new product and service. So I'm not going to run this one one by one, but then it is something that very much more easy to understand. But then sometime we will say that this is a digital information 1.0. Well, I'm saying 1.0 doesn't mean it's not important. It's just that it sometimes can scratch the surface, the surface of the product. But then, so we decided to going into a process innovation. This means that it's not just the interface or the consumer touch part of the innovation, but it also happen to the process. For example, like is this kitchen, right? The kitchen going to prepare the dish for the restaurant. So it's necessary, it's apps for you to order something, order your food with the apps, but they also becoming into the process of preparing the food or even the supply chain for the food, right? And even, so it's the process together with the product. And now you can see that why we have a few different categories in here in terms of scope, because it can be a process, but it can be a process plus a product, which is a deeper part because it's a process to support the product. Then it comes into the part, might be you will say that this is the part that everyone can enter because it's a business model innovation. But I would say, I think the entry company should carefully think about whether it is a business innovation or a product innovation. Sometimes it may be both, but sometimes that you be better putting yourself into the business model innovation rather than into the product, because it does not go into the much deeper part onto the technology. Because you can see that when we come into innovation, it's really easy to come into the ABCD, but we talk many times over the few years, right? The artificial intelligence, the blockchain, and then the cloud service, or also the big data. But then that is actually the tools of making the innovation happen. But then the business model innovation would be something that is very, sometimes you have a very good idea on the business model. It doesn't mean you really need to have a very complicated technology on it. Actually, it is the same as a product. And I think it comes into a very differentiation part on HKMA to organize such award, because as Sunny said, now is much more about how the management, come into the innovation. Many times then when the innovation can become very effective in a company, it requires a very good new kind of management style in order to make that happen in most of the company. So business model innovation, it seems to be that everyone can go into there, but I would say today there's many judges in here, right? I would say that they will be quite picky on, what do you mean by business innovation? Because it can be sometimes misleading that, okay, I'm having a very good business innovation there. And then there's a platform innovation. Again, platform and product are very come close together sometimes. But today I'm going to tell that when you say it's a platform, sometimes I would say there is a middleman mechanism inside the platform, or the coordinating part of the platform, where a product can be built by one, but then the platform has to be coordinated by many parts of the world. Sometimes we call a platform innovation also an ecosystem, or ecosystem, right? When you say ecosystem, it must have a multiple entity there, and then you link them together, right? Or sometimes you become the middleman, a virtual middleman, or a middleman with the platform to make that more efficient, or to make that happen. Last but not least, then we also have the social impact innovation, but this time when we're all talking about ESG, right? And then it's very important for, I think, HKMA for this award to bring into the social impact innovation together as a sustainability development becomes so important in the business world. So this is the part that I think it will be quite interesting for us to see more of the entry coming in and show their social innovation in this award. So last, I want to mention that innovation, it doesn't mean that we have to disrupt something and become the innovation. Sometimes it can be sustainable. It can be sustainable. It can be something that you have a new idea to fix an old problem. And then the old problem becoming, when it is fixed, it can benefit to the business or to the social world, right? But, or on the other hand, it can be something disruptive, because it can be something like a meta world. It never happened in this planet before, but then you put it together and then you make it success. So it's no discriminating on, say, whether it's a disruptive innovation or whether it's a sustainable innovation. I think both of it is good. And I don't think the judge will putting more score onto something that must be a disruptive innovation. On the other hand, sometimes a sustainable integration could be benefit the society quicker, right? By all means. So here is what I just introduced. This is 5 scope of the innovation. But again, I want to mention that can be double entry, right? But it may not be a benefit for you to double entry onto a scope. It has to make sense that it fits into the scope. This is the first time Hong Kong MA organized an innovation award in here. So we are also, as an organizing committee, we are also being innovative to learn from what would be a innovation award from Hong Kong MA with more of the management perspective to make innovation impact onto the society. Okay, so that's coming to the end of my introduction on scope of innovation, and then I would like to introduce the next presenter.
Thank you, Herbert. May I now invite our award organizing committee member, Mr. Jeff Lau, Managing Director, Head of Strategy and Innovation, Business Banking, Commercial Banking of HSBC, to introduce the category, eligibility, and judging criteria. Jeff,
Okay.
please.
Thank you, Sunny. Thank you, Herbert. So let me cover the award categories as well as the judging criteria. So as alluded by Sunny earlier, we do have 2 major category in terms of actually recognizing the innovative efforts of all. So the first one is the Innovative Organization Awards, and the second one is Innovative Rising Stars Award. By the name of it, you can tell that basically we welcome everyone for the first blue category, whereby we welcome both private and public companies, public bodies. As Sunny has mentioned earlier, we also encourage governmental bureaus as well as department to facilitate and participate in this award as well. Trade and professional association, NGOs, NPOs, social purpose organization, everyone basically. We actually even welcome for the same organization to submit multiple entries. We understand that some of the organizations potentially have different business lines, and there are many customer problems as well as internal problems and pain points to solve. So I'm sure innovation is happening everywhere, and we do welcome multiple entries, even from the same organization. However, side note is that, as mentioned by Herbert, I think the organization themselves should organize within themselves as to what was the potential submission to HKMA to consider the different categories of innovation that we are working on, and particularly around exactly whether it is an internal problem or internal initiative that we do have innovation going on, or whether very often is that sometimes some of the organization will be adopting some external vendor solutions, incorporating and overlaying with their own innovative efforts. So say, for example, say HSBC adopt a vendor solution, and we actually overlay a business model innovation on that. That itself can be submitted as one of the initiative of our applications coming into HKMA as well. Entries can be submitted under the basis of innovative project, initiative, solutions, or model that create that sustainable outcome that Herbert have mentioned just now, that create, be it monetary benefits, revenue improvement, cost-saving initiatives, as well as positive social impact. So basically, when going into the judging criteria, we will elaborate a little bit more on that benefits. As I've mentioned, we welcome application from all. So not only from Hong Kong, also from the Greater Bay Area, Ryder, mainland China, and any entries coming from overseas are also welcomed. Second category, Innovative Rising Stars Award, definitely recognizing the rising star for the future. So as long as you are a startup, which has been set up for less than 5 years and is not publicly listed and receive no more than $30 million of funding by the prescribed date, then you are eligible to actually to run for the Innovative Rising Stars Award. One point to note, you can also submit your startup proposal under both award categories. So either under the Innovative Rising Stars Award or the Innovative Organization Award. No duplicated entries into both awards. So potentially, based on your assessment of your competitiveness, potentially there's one of the hints that you can consider which one that you would like to enter into. Just one point to note is that we would expect the submitted product, projects, initiative, solution, and model must be available in the market already under a live operation kind of environment. Okay, going into judging criteria, we have 5 major pillars of assessment criteria that we'll be looking into, forming a 100% kind of point of assessment criteria. So the first pillar of area that we will be looking into, constituting 15% of the total score, is objective setting. So basically looking into how your organization or startups actually scout for opportunities, looking for market trends, looking into the various economic environment, macroeconomic trends, etc., and then lead into a potential innovation for your organization. How that translate into solving pain points internally or externally, whether it is customer-centric, looking into the customer pain points, how to, say for example, under the COVID situation, a lot of people are actually looking into enabling remote working. So some of the SaaS platform or technology service provider has been enabling and building new innovation and product capabilities to facilitate remote working. So that is something that based on the ongoing situation, how that translate into opportunities that the organization is capturing. And finally, what is the objective of that innovation? Whether it is helping the organization to cut costs, whether it is helping the organization to capture new opportunities, gaining efficiency, or improving customer engagement, etc. So whether the organization is very clear about the objective of that particular innovation. Going into the second point, I think it's very much interlinked to the third point, which is creativity and innovation. So the second point is design, development, and execution, which constitute 20% of the assessment, and creativity and innovation, which constitute 25% of the assessment. So it's about the execution, the innovation process of understanding exactly how to execute that particular objective being set under number 1. So it's about how to actually to understand the customer pain point or staff pain point or whatever, go through the design, development, and execution journey to potentially have a clear understanding of what is the pain point to be identified, how to actually create that critical path to improve that innovation journey, and create a proposition overlay to ensure that we can actually deliver that objective being set previously. And it is also about how to engage the customer, partner, staff, etc., to actually get that buy-in on the idea and also on the execution of it. Subsequently, you can also illustrate under your submission whether you have encounter any obstacles and how you actually have that obstacle being resolved in an innovative manner. And subsequently, it's about a qualitative analysis of the solution and the model and whether it's reliable, it is feasible, it is marketable. And then I touch on the fact that we also value the innovation process, how you actually embed designer thinking in driving the innovation for the entire process. Technology doesn't mean anything unless you actually have a use case or business model being overlaid on it. it is not only about technology, and as alluded earlier, even minimal adaptation of technology, but you have an innovative way to overlay a business model in driving or opening up a new world of opportunity, then potentially there's something that you can also look into as well. How that translates into creating a new competitive advantage and awareness for the company would be another point that we'll be looking into. Originality of the innovation, be it an incremental innovation, be it a groundbreaking innovation. I guess in the COVID situation, a lot of groundbreaking kind of innovation that we are seeing, and potentially that would add a significant part to the creativity and innovation as well. Going into the later stage of number 5, we also recognize some of the organizations who successfully have patents, etc., are being granted. There will be additional brownie points to be added to the assessment as well. Going into the 4th pillar is about sustainable outcomes, benefit, and impact. So going to Herbert's point, how to create a greener future, how to create a sustainable profitability, how to create positive social impact. That is something that we are looking into as to whether the outcomes is in line with what you have laid down on the objective in actually helping the organization to create values, and subsequently internally and beyond the internal organization to the society as well as the customer and other stakeholders. Impact to the market, whether you are actually changing the way people interact, whether you are opening up new markets, say for example, or new payment solutions, actually changing the way we use cash, or creating new market, platform economy, creating a lot of new markets opportunity. That is something that we will be looking into as well. And going into future, whether that business model is creating a significant future potential to drive organization growth or to change the way we actually organize your business. One point to note for Innovative Rising Stars Award, we do consider business potentials that are not yet being realized. But I guess the feasibility study definitely will be considered by the panel of judge as well. Last but not least is about the exceptional merits. So how the submission or the company actually incorporate purpose in their innovation strategies would be one consideration. Say, for example, HSBC, our purpose is to opening up a world of opportunities. So our innovation actually help our customer to connect to opportunities, etc., etc. How the innovation actually help to nurture a culture of innovation within the organization, how that innovation actually help our customer as well as the employees to understand the importance of innovation will be something that we will be considering as well. Third point, agility and resilience, creating that kind of flexibility, adaptability within the team to actually drive innovation for a better future will be something that we can also consider as well. Last point is about the external recognition, be it awards, be it patents, as mentioned earlier, would also go into that particular consideration. So that's just sharing for me. Thank you very much, and yeah, pass it back
to you, Jeff.
Thank you.
May I now invite our award organizing committee member, Mr. Peter Yan, Chief Executive Officer of Hong Kong Cyberport Management Company Limited, to introduce the award and recognition, judging process, and award schedules. Peter, please.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Hello, everybody. In the physical world and also through the who are online. Yeah. Thanks, Jeff, for the elaboration on the categories, the eligibility, and the criteria, and Herbert for the scope of the innovation. I'm going to talk more about the award recognition and also the important dates, some of the schedules and the process. Yeah. All right. Okay. Now, in order for us to encourage innovation to be adopted, to be more implemented in the organization, we have actually created quite a number of different awards. Now, we mentioned just now about the Organizations Award and also the Rising Star Awards, two major categories. So in short, is one category, the Organization Award is more for the established companies, organizations, while Rising Stars are more for the startups or some of the SMEs. Yeah. For the Organizations Award, we have 15. While the same with the Rising Star Award, altogether, 15 awards. So together, there will be quite a number of awards in different areas that we cover. There is going to be, of course, one champion for each innovation champion for each of the category, and then gold, silver, bronze, and excellence in the order of 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Yeah. So altogether, there will be these awards, 15 each for the categories. Yeah. You may have questions related to how exactly are we qualified for Rising Star. Jeff mentioned that just now, and to elaborate a little bit on that, you are basically a company that's relatively less established with about 5 years of sort of establishment. So all startups and many SMEs probably will fit into that category. Yeah, and there are also special awards because we want to, as I mentioned, encourage more people to participate and practice, innovation. We have also created, excellence in different areas, including product and services, process, business model, platform, social impact, collaborations and partnership, customer intelligence, digital transformation, innovation, culture, technology adoption, and also a special award for the NGOs and the non-profit making organization and really, SMEs. Yeah. Sunny mentioned just now that innovation may not necessarily relate to technology, even though technology will have a major part to play in it. So that's why we have also covered a number of other areas, including business model, processes, social impact, customer intelligence, and so on. So these are some of the things that we would like to emphasize to encourage people to do, to make changes, to go out of their comfort zone and innovate, in their business operations. Yes, please. Yeah. So coming to judging process and award schedule, I think there are key dates that you have to remember, and also in the order of the different processes. The deadline, remember this one, for the application is the 1st of December this year. So remember, this is the first sort of steps that you need to really make a move to. And of course, before that, there will be a lot of further promotional activities to engage the various companies who are interested in. There will be different briefing sessions and so on that I understand we will be organizing to attract more people, to apply for this award and understand more about the award and the recognitions of the award that brings about. The submission of the write-up after you have submitted the entry form is the 9th of January. So in case you do not have time to complete, the whole write-up for the in the entry form, you can submit the write-up afterwards, before the on or before the 9th of January. Then there will be a first round judging from the 10th of January to February next year. So in this sort of 1 month and 3 weeks time, we will be doing more judging on the preliminary on the entries to select really the more appropriate ones, so that we can then go into a final judging and innovation summit where you can all do presentations and have also more interactions with the judges. So the judges may also visit, your workplace, your operation, to better understand the innovation, the projects that you've done. And this is between late March and mid-May next year. And the award presentation ceremony will be done in late June 2023 next year. And that basically is the process and some of the very important dates that you have to remember. What you have to remember now is really the 1st of December date. Yeah. So make sure that you understand how this award is about, the process is like, and the selection criteria, eligibility, and so on, and then complete the form, submit it before the 1st of December. So that's basically what I have to share. Yeah, go to the award website. Yeah, if you have any questions, we have the Q&A sessions coming up, so we can have more interaction. I can see on the Slido that there are quite a number of questions already. Yeah, so that's basically what I would like to share in this part of my exchange with you. Yeah.
Thank you, Peter.
Shall we move on? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.